Hey guys, as they're bringing you another video. Now, welcome to another patch notes. This is 13.9, and I will just say, which is kind of crazy, this is literally about halfway of the season. I don't know about you guys, but like, I cannot really believe it's halfway of the season already, but it is. Because just reminding everybody, the ranked season generally stops around early December, but also obviously this year is the first time they're ever doing a mid-season reset. So in about 40 or 50 days time, your rank is going to reset. I do actually think it's a good thing. I think it kind of revitalizes the rank season. If you're not having a good time right now, then it gives you another kind of time to restart, reset, and go again. So I think it's a good thing. But anyway, the patch today is going, and not a huge one, it doesn't seem to be, but we've got nerfs to only 2 champions. Jinx, she's been the dominant AD carry, and finally Scion. But I have heard the Scion ones aren't huge. And then we got buffs to Aatrox, Amumu, Swain, Trundle, and Volley Bear. We have adjustments to Belvedere, Kayle. We've got the Nico mid-scope update and Talia. We've got a system change to Lich Bane, and then the new skins, which I do have to say, they are very cool. The Ink Shadow skin. So I will be doing a loot video for sure. They come out tomorrow, May the 3rd. So it might be tomorrow's second video if I can do it all quick enough. Because that comes out at 8 p.m. UTC. I don't know what time zone that is. I'd presume it's American, so it might be afternoonish maybe. I have no idea when that will be coming out. Well, actually, no. If it's 8 p.m. in America, then it's going to be coming out way later in Europe. So it potentially is not tomorrow's second video. It'll be Thursday's second video. Potentially will be the loot video, and maybe we'll do a giveaway part of that one as well. So make sure you tune into that. So let's get into it. So the Nico mid-scope. I am going to play Nico probably in the first unranked to diamond session. I can. If she's broken, she might just get permabanned, obviously. But what they're in essence doing is trying to make her have the fantasy of actually being a chameleon, because let's face it, vast majority of Nico players do not use the mechanic to transform into other champions. It's just not really used. So they're making it better. So in essence, they're opening up the passive to be able to turn into anything practically on the map. Within obviously reasons, but you can transform into minions, jungle monsters, all that stuff. I don't know if you can transform into like Baron, for example. I don't think so. But her W should now be a Truth Trickster tool, and she'll have complete control over it. You can fire and forget the clone like it was in the past. Yeah, that's all gone. So let's go into what they're doing. So that's removed. So this is basically the massive thing is when Nico is near a non-epic monster, so yeah, can't do Baron or Dragon, minion, trap, ward, or plant, for 2 seconds, she stores their Shoma, which I guess is their essence. Nico can then click on her bar to become that unit. Click on Nico's face to return as Nico. So just to make it clear, so a monster, so a wolf, a wraith, you can pretend to be one of those. A minion, a cannon minion, a mage, a fighter. A trap, so literally you could become a Jin W, you could become a Nidlee's W, you could become a trap. A Shaco Jack-of-the-Box, I'd imagine, would work as well. You can become a ward, or you can become a plant. So you could collect the essence of, let's say, the blast plant, blow it up, and then stand where it normally is and pretend you're that plant until someone comes and tries to use it, and bam, you're Nico and you can jump on them. So that's going to be hilarious, and I think it is going to be a really funny thing to begin with. Obviously, it's the way of champions. At the beginning, it's going to be very powerful because no one is ever going to expect Nico to be a minion or anything of that nature. But the longer that this mechanic's in the game, people will kind of get more used to it. Like, for example, Nico pretends to be a minion, and she's walking with the minion wave. A lot of people might just autopilot and not go, wait a minute, there's one extra range minion walking in the line. At the beginning, they won't realize, but the longer this happens, more people will kind of click and go, ah, one of those is Nico. So, yeah. So it is worth knowing they are giving her jungle scaling with her Q, obviously her AoE, so it does bonus damage to monsters. With obviously this mechanic of becoming multiple things, it is nodding to the fact that it actually could be quite good in the jungle. You could literally be a minion just walking in lane and you're the jungle looking for a gank. You know, it is quite a cool thing, to be fair. In essence, a lot of, you know, Nico is still the same. Mainly what they're doing is the massive transform mechanic and giving her basically some jungle essence as well. Obviously the clone has gone, so she doesn't just cast W and it goes and runs away, because she's got such a more powerful disguise now. And then her ultimate, she no longer gets a shield anymore as well, so that is worth knowing. It's a longer cooldown in the early game. It does technically less damage as well, so it's because she has better tools elsewhere is what they're basically saying. The AoE effect is larger, for example. She's getting better scaling with her Q eventually, so Nico will be cool and we'll definitely try it out. Aatrox, passive damage increased, our movement speed increased. So Aatrox was dominant completely for a very long time, and obviously he's not been for a little while, and I'm always okay with that. If a champion's dominant for a year, I'm kind of fine with him not being dominant for a year as well. But he has, well, I wouldn't say he's crazy weak, I just wouldn't put him on the same level as like Fiora or something like that, for example. So his bonus physical damage from his passive was 4 to 10% based on level of target's maximum health. It's now 4 to 12%, so that will make him obviously better at killing tanks. And then his ultimate bonus movement speed is going up, so harder to get away from an Aatrox if he's running at you. Amumu, a champion that obviously did see problems with like what I would call the problematic build of the kind of first 3 months of the season, is where we saw the rise of Udyr, Maokai, Amumu jungle, and Diana, I guess. It was the demonic Yak Show build. Made them so tanky, but also do damage constantly ticking at you. It was quite obnoxious. So all of those champions kind of got nerfs, and that build got nerfed, but obviously that left the champions in a little bit of a sorry state. So what they're saying here is Amumu is a great introductory jungler who makes clearing camps easy on a mechanical and conceptual level, and that's great for him. The ease of execution leads him naturally having a high win rate in lower skilled play, where he's recently fallen off a bit. He's also a completely reasonable support pick at all levels of play, so we're not trying to give him too much more power. So it's a small buff, but they realize if they give too much a buff, support Mumu will just probably take over again. So the W, Despair, flat magic damage per seconds, is now being flattened to its rank 3 damage, which was 20 at all ranks. So it's technically a late game nerf in flat damage, but then the percent health magic damage is going up. So overall, I'd say this is a pretty nice buff. You know, he still builds demonic and stuff like that. It's just not as powerful as it was. So yeah, that's a nice change for Mumu. It's going to be completely fine for jungle. It's going to be good for support Mumu if you still play that. So not too bad. Belvedere, attack damage growth decreased, Q damage to monsters increased. So the attack damage growth is going down per level, but the Q, obviously her kind of glide through, is going to be doing more damage to the monsters themselves. So with these changes, we're trying to give Belvedere a much better early clear in the jungle, where she's been struggling. I would agree to that. Obviously, Belvedere, and I might play jungle next time I go on the main account, but you know, she's one of the champions I play. I would say she's a modern champion, so she has her big strengths, but her early clear is quite slow. You know, even if you compare it to just other meta junglers, she will get to like the scuttle quite slow. So giving her a bit of early clear, I don't think is too bad. And obviously it's hurting her damage output overall for getting a little bit better clear. So I think that's okay. Jinx, a very, well, actually it's not a small nerf at all, but it's one nerf. So attack damage growth decrease. So Jinx is one of the stronger AD carries in League, and as a result needs a light nerf. So attack damage growth was 3.4, it's 3.15. That's actually quite a big nerf. And I remember on Reddit a few weeks ago, there was a guy going, I'm new to League. Do these changes really do anything? You know, we're talking 0.35 a nerf. The answer is yes. They actually do. The crazy thing what I'm about to say, and I know people are going to go, Huzzy, you feeling okay? League is actually quite a balanced game. And I know, like, people are probably going to shoot me for saying that, but it is like, for how many champions we have, over 160 now, for how many items we have, every champion in their meta and designed role generally right now has a win rate, if you wanted to gauge it off that, between 45, 46% and 54%, 55. It's only a 10% swing. So in every 100 games, the best champions win 55 out of 100 games. That's not insane. And the worst champions win 45 games. It's not absolutely insane. So because it's actually kind of a fairly balanced game, if in the grand scheme, these little changes is all you need to do. If you make, the attack damage growth, you take it down to 2, she will never be played. That's the thing. You need to do these small little changes, and that's why I say this is a small change. It was actually quite a big nerf. You don't usually see these kind of big chunks as much. Like normally this attack damage growth was 3.4. You'd probably see them nerf it to maybe a 3.3, maybe a 3.2. It's a 3.15. That's actually quite significant. So that will knock off quite a lot of strength of Jinx, but still probably playable. But again, what they're saying here is they're just trying to put her on par with other marksmen. So there we go. Kayle. I didn't know they were doing things to Kayle. EAP ratio decreased, passive wave damage adjusted, R cast time decreased, AoE radius increased, invulnerability duration adjusted, damage delay increased, and magic damage decreased. We're adjusting Kayle's ultimate to allow her to attack for longer while invulnerable, and increasing the AoE radius so she doesn't have to compromise her positioning as a ranged carry to hit the spell. While the intent is to buff Kayle, attacking while vulnerable is quite powerful, so we're lowering her sustained damage to a bit to compensate. Oh, wow. Okay, so when you're actually ulted, you can now attack, which obviously you were kind of casting it instead of being able to attack. That's actually quite a big change, like they've said. So they are giving her nerfs because they know this is actually quite a big change. So that's cool. So the invulnerability duration as well is being flattened to 2.5. So it's a buff at rank 1. It's a nerf at rank 3. The magic damage of it, I presume, is also going down. Yes, it is, because you're being able to attack during it. The area effect radius is going bigger, much bigger. The cast time is more instantaneous. And yeah, Kayle no longer lowers her range when casting ult on herself. So yeah, that's actually pretty cool. So look out for Kayle, I'd say. Scion. Wait, is that all they're doing? What? Scion passive health decay increased. Oof. So if you watched the Darius video earlier, I think it was, like I did say, like I've literally, and you've probably heard me say it for months, I would put Scion easily in the overpowered category for months. He's absolutely bonkers. You can play him full AD, you can play him full tank. He's very easy to play, and you could be terrible and still end up insanely strong and near unstoppable if, the game just goes on long enough. It isn't like, oh, if you recover your game, you start playing better. No. If the game just goes on long enough, Scion is insane. I was expecting more nerfs, if I'm honest, but health decay, so glory and death. So since the durability update and the addition of Heart Steel as a health stacking item, Scion's passive has begun lasting far longer than it was able to in the past. So yeah, that's kind of the thing of when he dies. He obviously is, if you get a kill on him, he's got 5,000 health. Well, the zombie has got 5,000 health, and yes, it decays. So what they're doing is speeding up the process of how quick the zombie dies. So it was 2 to 19, which is 1 health per level. It's now 2.3 to 24.4, which is 1.3 health per level. I don't know what that exactly means, like per second or per half a second. They haven't really explained that. So if someone knows, let me know. I was expecting way more nerfs than that, to be honest. I was expecting like nerfs to how much health he gains from, I think it's his W or E passive. Like he actually gains health for killing minions. Stats stacking with Heart Steel is very strong. I was also hoping for a quality of life change nerf that his death timer doesn't start when he dies, I would hope it starts when the zombie dies, because that seems a lot healthier. Because that's one of the problems of Scion, is you kill him, and but by the time the zombie's dead, he's back alive, and it's like, oh, so you can't push for tower plates or anything, because then he just teleports straight away back to the lane after the zombies died. So it's not really punishing at all for him. So yeah, but obviously Prowler's Claw is eventually getting removed in its current state, so AD Scion probably will kind of go away, but it's expecting more nerfs than that. Swain, Q damage increased. Yeah, Swain's fallen off for quite a long time. So magic damage on Q is going up, flat damage and ability power ratio very slightly. The bonus damage per bolt is also going up, flat and AP ratio, and the maximum magic damage is also going up. So that's quite nice. So I don't know if this is going to make him viable. Well, viable is the wrong word. Meta. I don't know if it's going to make him meta, but if you want to play Swain, any damage increase, any buff is going to be a good thing. So there we go. Obviously, I miss playing Swain. I played a lot of him in the past. Talia, are cast lockout conditions adjusted? So cast lockout whenever Talia takes or deals damage. It's now whenever Talia takes damage. Oh, that's cool. So even if you deal damage, the wall will still happen and stuff like that. That's a better quality of life update, which is good. So they're loosening the restrictions on that. There we go. Trundle, base attack speed increased, base mana increased. Haven't seen too much of Trundle. And it says Trundle is underperforming in both top lane and jungle. In all honesty, like realistically, if you look at the top lane champions at the moment, Trundle could really fit in top lane. He's a great 1v1 duelist. He absolutely annihilates towers. He's good at split pushing. You can, you know, buy a hull breaker on him if you want. He's really good with Blade of the Ruined King. He's good with Divine Sunderer. He's actually quite good in those aspects. So potentially these little buffs, potentially, you know, will make some top lanes go, let's give Trundle a go. Maybe it'll even make me do that in Unranked to Diamond. Maybe we'll do it next recording session. But yeah, maybe the theme, and I might actually say it right now, the theme of the next Unranked to Diamond recording session, which will be later this week, will be only playing champions that appear in this patch note. Maybe is what we'll do. That sounds fun. Volley Bear, the last champion adjustment, is W damage and heal increased. Ooh. And again, Volley Bear is sitting at a below power level when compared to other top laners. So again, they are talking at, you know, he's a top laner now, not really a jungle. And obviously that kind of happened with his rework. So physical damage of his W is going up, but to bonus health. So the more health he has, I think the more damage it's going to deal. And then the heal ratio based on his missing health is also going up. So just better for dueling in general. So buffs across the board for Volley Bear. Items. Ooh. Lich Bane, ability power buff. That's nice. A few of my champions use Lich Bane, so I'm happy with that. That's cool. Expanded emote wheel. Emotes have been updated. They will now feature a 9-slot wheel of your favorites. Oh, that's cool, because at the moment it's only 4. And I will say, and I will fully admit when I'm wrong about things, when emotes came out, I absolutely hated them. Emotes have grown on me because, you know, emotes at the right time, at the right place, can perfectly make a moment. Is, you know, a lot of people don't use chat now in League of Legends, but sometimes you do want to express something funny with your team. Emotes are the perfect way to do that. You know, if you're playing bot lane and you both do really good, a thumbs up or a happy bee emote is exactly what the moment needs. You both kind of are expressing a good job, and that's it. You just move on to the next thing. I do actually value emotes now. They are, I would say, a good addition to the game. So there's that. So there's an emote wheel, and there's also a reaction. So your reactions obviously is, you know, when the game starts and you get first blood, an ace, or victory. But yeah, you can have a lot more emotes now, which is cool. ARAM's getting adjustments. MSI Cup Clash is happening, which is going to be... Ooh, okay. So MSI is here. So the MSI Clash tournaments, these will be 16 team bracket tournaments as opposed to the typical 8. So an extra game per Clash night. The first weekend will be May the 6th and 7th. And then team formation for the first weekend will be opening May the 3rd. So I will just say, and some people may be disappointed, I will probably try to play on the 6th, which is this upcoming Saturday. I'm not sure I'll play on the 7th because it is the Miami F1. as you all know, I'm literally wearing a McLaren thing right now. I'm a Formula 1 fanatic, so when it comes to something clashing with Formula 1, I'm probably gonna clashing with Formula 1. But yeah, I'm probably gonna pick Formula 1. But then the second weekend will be May 13th and 14th. So there's that. Cool. And then as a part of MSI Clash, players who purchase a premium ticket during Clash will also be eligible for the following awards. Players who place first place through 5 will receive a random Legacy Conqueror skin permanent. Okay. And then 6th to 8th, you'll receive a skin shard. Cool. Behavioral systems. We're adding the ability to report players in the game in order to provide with more opportunities to help us identify and take action on folks displaying toxic or disruptive behavior. These reports will also give us more information exactly what happened. So wait, we're adding the ability to report players in the game. So wait, player reports. You can now create and update reports during the course of a match. You can also update your report in the post-game screen if you have the change of heart. So you can report people while you're in the game. You don't... How many of us are in the game, something toxic happens, the game finishes, you're in the mindset of like, oh, just get me out of this, and then you forget to report them. You can now report them straight away. That's quite big. Mute updates. We consolidated your mute options in a new panel that can be accessed through the scoreboard just below the report button. And then mute all and mute self is we've added the mute all and mute self controls now located next to your own champion portrait and summoner spells. So, okay, wow. The in-game reporting, I'd say, is quite a big thing. And what I would say is for a long time, Riot really didn't do anything about toxicity in League. It still is a very toxic place, but it actually finally feels in the last few months Riot is actually really doing things about it. I don't know if anybody else feels that way, but most days that I log in, boom, there's an instant feedback report that someone's been punished. They're actively making it easier to report people. You can now report, I think, people in your match history. So if you forgot to report someone before, you can go in your match history and report them there. But now you can do it in the game too. So these are all good things. Bug fixes, as I've always said, you should look at bug fixes and just in case the champion you play features, like for example there, fixed a bug where Malzahar's E would sometimes not spread, even if it had killed a minion. I've definitely noticed that one myself, so that's cool for my occasional Mal's games, so that's a good thing. So yeah, just have a little look if you see any champions that you obviously play. And then the upcoming skins. Yeah, the upcoming skins are really cool, I will say. The splash arts are amazing. So you can see the Master Yi skin, that's the Aurelian Soul right there. How cool's that? Very, very cool. Volley Bear, Yasuo, Udyr. Obviously, Yasuo gets a skin basically every event. Yone obviously is there as well. Prestige is the Yasuo. I actually weirdly thought the Prestige was the Master Yi, but apparently not. The Kaiser's there. So yeah, very cool. I'll be doing a loot video, as I said, and that's what they look like in game. The chromas even look cool as well. I hope that we get a League Partner bundle of one of these ink skins. I'll try to maybe find out. That would be cool. And then, yeah, new emotes as well. So if you follow any of these teams, you can get their emote for in-game. So, yeah, why not? But there we go. That is the patch. Bit of a small one. Honestly, I'm not too surprised that it's small. Riot is, you know, MSI has officially now started. It's right at the beginning. They are going to be more focused on that than solo queue balance. We'll probably get another bigger patch of game balance when MSI is finished, so in like a month's time, because you know there'll be a patch in another 2 weeks. I doubt that's going to be that big unless Riot notice things in MSI that, oh, we can patch that and make solo queue not be broken in that aspect. But obviously that won't affect MSI because MSI, I believe, is now locked to patch 13.8. I think that's actually the MSI patch. But there we go. That is it. If you guys did enjoy, do throw a like on the video. Obviously, I'll be getting this out as today's second video. So if you appreciate the effort, yeah, liking and commenting on the topics that we've done is awesome. But yeah, hopefully you're all doing well. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe. See you guys next time. Goodbye.
Call down the reckoning to bring back hope and peace. Restore our glory to live forever. Bring down the dark regime. I know how to unleash eternal